Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler, FDR, Anne Frank, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Emperor Moshimida, Sushi Boy,
Don't even try.
Big Boy, Little Man,
What are you talking about? I thought we were talking about Vietnam.
D-Day. We're getting there.
Are you going to do us a timeline the whole way up to Vietnam from
Pearl
World War
Harbor.
II? Okay, can we please start talking about Vietnam? You're making me
Compared
angry.
to Tricky Dicky, LBJ, Charlie. Now, World War II has the heavy hitters, the names that matter, the moments that matter. Vietnam has so much cultural relevancy, though. It is the blueprint for how modern warfare has actually taken place. Boots on the ground, modern warfare. It's all guerrilla warfare. If there's any big threat going up against a small country,
It's called asymmetrical warfare.
and that is the template if there's boots on the ground invasion, because no smaller nation is taking on a bigger nation, which it would look way different.
Well, like if you're generally it's the larger nation attacking the smaller nation. And the smaller nation, it's easier to defend than it is to attack. So they say it takes, because a friend of mine went to a war college, for real. He actually got a Bronze Star. But if you're attacking a defended position, you need 3 troops.
You made this person up.
No, I didn't. His name's Ernie. For real.
Guys,
High
you
school
made
with
him
him.
up.
Nope. You need 3 to defeat 1. If you're
It takes
attacking.
1 to defend, 3 to attack.
Correct. Now the U.S. policy at one time was they wanted 5 to 1.
How many bombs does it take, though?
I mean,
Napalm.
we're talking infantry.
Napalm. Ever heard of her?
Yeah.
Agent Orange? Remember that story? That old chestnut?
Yep.
Do you know more people died of Agent Orange illness than people that actually died in combat?
I know you said that to me. I doubt it's true, but I know a lot died from it.
All right, well, take it away. I worked on the opening, and this is your topic, so.
What, are you done talking or what? Were we recording?
I'll add to the conversation, but this is your.
You told me.
Go ahead, buddy.
You texted. I didn't even ask. All right. Obviously, I got some stuff.
What I want to say.
All right. You gave me like half a second.
What I want to say, dude, the floor was yours, and you totally fumbled the bag. I'm not surprised.
Repeat that phrase again there.
You fumbled the bag. The kids, the ladies, the men, the boys, they don't know what I'm talking about. Comment down below if you know what I'm talking about. 3 million Viet Cong died. Or just Vietnamese, not just Viet Cong. 1.1 Viet Cong died. South Vietnamese, we'll say 225. United States,
60?
about 60.
60K?
And then Allied were like 5,000.
You know who was there? I think
Cambodia
you know this.
and Laos, about 300.
You know, you want to watch and it's an older movie, but and it's not about Vietnam per se, but it's...
Forrest Gump.
No. It's called The Killing Fields.
I've seen that. It's Cambodian Killing Fields. Really good.
Yeah. Disturbing movie. Very dark, but that's what it was.
So
who was it? Laos or Cambodia? I can't remember.
I think it was Cambodia Killing Fields.
Okay. Well, that was Pol Pot, I think.
I think so too.
And I think I've mentioned this before, that he emptied the cities. He didn't want. I mean, there was a middle class at one time. He wanted just everybody to go out into the.
It is Cambodia. Khmer Rouge.
That was the faction or whatever. That was in charge, and he was in charge of it. I mean, they were, per capita, they were probably the worst of any...
Percentage-wise of murders.
Yeah. I mean, they were just... And it wasn't just... Well, I mean, it was a lot of murders, but I mean, they came up with a policy that tons of people will die from starvation.
Yeah, and little militias just came took prisoners of war in this civil war that was like even somehow, despite the fact that people had AKs, less advanced than maybe a civil war, because it was people who were not soldiers with guns against people who were not soldiers without guns.
Yeah.
And I think probably a lot of them had machetes. That was the big thing with Hotel Rwanda, is just people were getting fucking sliced and diced by machetes. The thing I was trying to make, the point I'm trying to make, is World War II. You would think there would be a lot of good movies about that, and there definitely are. But Vietnam is cool, very cool. Now, I wasn't there. It's not cool in real life, but to make movies about is super cool.
I wouldn't want to go there. I mean, the guys who went, man, I have the highest respect for, because they didn't want to go. When they came home, they got treated like garbage.
That was a unforced error by the gay bitches of the United States.
I had read, and I don't know how long.
Excuse my vulgarities, but
that we really, towards the end, were starting to figure out how to fight them. And I can't remember. Oh, I wish I could remember No, for real.
Would it take 6 years?
Yeah, but you have to remember, they have home field advantage. They have tunnels under the entire country. It's guerrilla warfare that we've never fought before. We fought. we were fighting the Second World War tactics in that
fighting
arena.
guerrillas is never easy.
They're
very strong.
You're so unhelpful. How was I going to say?
They can tear.
I think it was maybe Operation Phoenix or something like that. But what they were doing is they were just killing the officers. So that had become their strategy. No, us. We were doing that.
We were killing their officers.
Yeah, because
smart.
without,
very smart.
You have to remember, they're not educated at all. Their officers kind of knew what was going on. They weren't.
Racist much.
No, that's what the country, look at the statistics. They weren't. It was a very underdeveloped country.
Why did we care about them?
It was about communism. World communism.
Okay. This is something, maybe the biggest argument that can be made. Okay. Because I think in my younger days, I was a lot more of a war hawk. If you would have put me behind the big red button in my teen years, I would have hit that baby.
A couple times.
Probably.
Yeah.
My solution to everything is, why don't we just nuke them?
Nuke them, yeah.
And as I'm getting older, I don't like war very much. Now, World War II, that was a fucking grand slam, you know, in terms of wars that... And so what I heard is we really actually kind of suckered Japan into, like... If they wanted to continue their imperialism, it was either stop... or they had to free up the Pacific, because we had an oil embargo on them, and we had stationed everything so close together to where they could do a Pearl Harbor. Now, I watched the movie Pearl Harbor. I don't know how accurate it is. Apparently,
Ben Affleck?
So apparently the love story's the only thing added. Like, a lot of the dates and things are supposed to be pretty historically accurate.
Okay.
They explain why they do that. I think it's so that... I forget what explanation they came up with. But the thing that I heard, an outside theory, instead of a conspiracy theory, outside theory, was it was to tempt them so that we could get it past Congress. Like, we were definitely trying to gear up for it. I would not be
surprised, because... the people didn't want to enter Europe, the European War. But...
they were big fans of Hitler.
No, they just didn't want to be involved. Because like the First World War, we didn't want to be involved. We kind of, because a president ran on whomever it was, I don't know who it was, Wilson maybe, but he ran on the policy of we're not going there, and then we went there. So this time it rolls around, so... by being attacked by Japan,
you could get people gung-ho.
Well, the thing is if Germany made the mistake of declaring war on us, and they did that because we declared war on Japan, and they became an alliance. They didn't have to.
Well, they were aligned prior.
I mean, Hitler did not like Japanese people.
I thought he admired aspects of culture from even the United States. Like
He admired the English culture, like from United Kingdom, but
I guess he
didn't
direct,
like America.
He either took direct inspiration from American slavery, and I think our eugenics policy was something that influenced him as
but
well.
that's not American culture. The eugenics program wasn't like something that we.
But
like
I guess what I'm
curing
saying
polio.
is like Japanese culture did have a very it's all about respect, baby. It's all
Okay,
about
that part. I mean,
the
yeah,
warrior's
like,
mentality.
yeah.
And like,
So possibly.
hey, man,
Yeah,
I
but-
don't like what they did to Pearl Harbor. You know, I'm not like a fucking super patriot, but I'm a fucking patriot.
Right.
You know, not New England, but U.S. And I still respect that mentality, bro. They were, if you were,
They're samurai. The
Fuck yeah,
Bushido
dude.
code. Well,
they were
yeah, but
badass
they were,
motherfuckers.
yeah, but they were. I mean, they were
Insane
basically
on drugs.
No, they just.
Some of them took meth, I'm sure. Morphine.
Well, the Germans did.
Yeah, I don't know if the Japanese did.
Probably not.
Meth,
but I mean,
they definitely did morphine. I think they gave morphine to the kamikaze pilots.
So they'd
They
fly
did-
better.
You're about to die.
Yeah, but it kind of distracts. It makes you less competent behind a wheel of a plane.
They did give them drugs. I'll look it up if you can talk while I look it up.
Okay. Well, they may have. I mean, I don't think that's.
Did kamikaze pilots survive? That's a stupid one.
I think their wheels came up as they lifted off. You
They
know, it was
didn't
just
have
there.
landing gear.
Right. That's what wheels are.
Okay, they yes, many Japanese kamikaze pilots were given. Oh, it is methamphetamine.
So you know how different that is than morphine.
That's my bad. They
Big
both
bad.
begin with M. I knew it was something. The trade names were Philippon or Hirapon. Pep pills is what they were called. Storming tablets or assault tablets, which is pretty cool. I think if meth heads were just saying I'm just taking pep pills and or
storm pills.
storming tablets, the
People
whole
would be get a lot more respect for them.
meth culture would.
Yeah, until their teeth fall out, and then people are like, "Oh man, that guy's really messed up."
Yeah, you gotta be on something to fly a fucking plane into sudden death.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got to be on something.
But very cool.
We're talking about Vietnam.
We're getting
You
there.
can't.
We're getting there.
You can't stay on one subject.
World War II movies. Schindler's List. Saving Private Ryan.
I'm glad I did a Vietnam
off the
list.
top, we're doing Vietnam next. It's just to say
Okay.
World War II is bigger than Vietnam. We can agree on that.
absolutely.
In terms of actual history.
I mean, there's portions of the Second World War, like I can't remember, like Burma, that people don't even know about. I mean, there was fighting going on there. I don't know what Burma's called now, but I'm not even 100% sure where it is. But it's like around. I got to look up where Burma is because there was fighting going on there, and there was fighting in Africa.
Yes.
That we were involved in Italy, and obviously Germany, France, the Netherlands, Finland, and then that's just the European theater. Then you got the entire, which was huge, the Pacific theater.
Now Africa was to get to Italy.
I believe so. Yeah.
Mussolini was allied with Hitler from the jump.
Pretty much, yeah.
He was also, I think, inspired by Mussolini. Something I had heard.
Who?
Hitler.
Yeah. Absolutely was. And then, well, he was inspired by him, and he was kind of almost like a mentor. I don't know if they met very often, and then Hitler, obviously overshadowed Mussolini because
In terms of
the military
historical,
might,
well,
it was just
true.
I mean,
Now this was before Ferrari, guys, and all those luxury
I don't
cars
think so.
that they were exporting.
Those are very old. Maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe not.
Well,
Maybe so.
like the Volkswagen
Was making military vehicles just like Jeep. Beep,
well,
beep, Jeep,
no,
Jeep.
I think it came out prior to them. Volkswagen means people's car. Okay.
For the people.
Okay. Yeah. So what they wanted to do, his government, Hitler, prior to them starting to become more militaristic, they wanted to provide that to German families.
They actually had, if you were on the good side of the policy, it was really good.
Yeah.
If you're on the bad side,
Not so much.
not so much. Hugo Boss is still a company that exists. Do you know what they are famous for? Infamous.
I mean, I know you mentioned them the other day.
Do you know who Hugo Boss? What Hugo
I know
Boss
it's
does now?
some kind of designer, something, right?
Yeah. So guess who made their outfits?
Jews?
Well, Hugo Boss designed the Nazi outfits
Oh.
with the skulls and the.
Oh. No, I get it.
You know, you're trying to be intimidating, and this joke has been done to death. Historically, they are painted as bad guys, and the outfits do make that distinction quite easy. You see on the battlefield, it's,
Yeah, if they weren't associated with the Nazis, because they were very cool insignias and so forth. They were super cool.
And this is not Nazi sympathizers. We're not Nazi
Absolutely
sympathizers. They lost. We won. American might. It was very much a, what do you call it? There was a lot of concepts at stake. It was a very political war to show, I think, by us stepping in, not only made us a world power in terms of American might, but it showed off the muscle of capitalism and Soviet Russia's ability to withstand the constant storm from their west, I guess, Germany, and then take the fight to them, is what left capitalism and communism to be the big, I'm giving you guys a history lesson. I know you guys already know this, but the two huge points I want to make is, despite Vietnam being, I don't know if you would say as significant as World War II, but I think you very well could argue that. I mean, if you lost someone, well, it was a war we lost, so I guess maybe we look at it as less significant because it's like,
no,
it did show
it's not a world war, for crying out loud. It was very, limited.
True.
Because World War, it covered probably,
but the
battlefields were probably 10% of the earth.
The mega powers collided, though, and it was the last two pillars of politics. To be frank, the communists and the capitalists,
in limited war.
Sure. Now,
and who's got an advantage? We're 14,000 miles from home, and they live there.
I get it. We had a lot of advantages too. We're going to get into the ins and outs of the war. I'm going to try to give you a lot of pushback, and I want you to be able to explain yourself as good as possible. But the main sticking point, Vietnam, not as big a war, but yet culturally, and maybe it's just because of the
culturally, possibly, yeah.
It left these mega waves that almost dwarf the event itself and the artistry that came about. Two of my very favorite war movies of all time: Apocalypse Now, Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah,
stunning. And in the way that they present the war, you can take a lot of lessons from it. You can kind of extrapolate, because I didn't live through it, but I know a fair amount about it. We'll talk about why maybe it shouldn't have happened, why you think it was very important, but giving some of the lead up and how, what I think is important is, I do think, though, so many people who think about World War II, and it's generally the same pussies who think we shouldn't have dropped the bombs on the Japanese, that are fucking commie, traitorous.
If we had not dropped the bombs, there wouldn't be no Japan. There wouldn't. We would have had to firebomb them into the Stone Age. And we would have. We had to defeat them. I mean, they said we would have invaded. And it would, I mean, I think they said 4 million they would have needed to invade Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And Japan's big, but it's not, and they would have bombed it into a cinder.
Say that again. Who would have bombed who? I'm sorry.
U.S. We would have bombed them till they surrendered. We would have just.
So if it wasn't 2 big bombs, it would have been 1,000 smaller bombs.
Which they had done.
Yeah.
They firebombed Tokyo.
Right.
And I don't know if you had heard about, like, women in Japan wore, like, some kind of cloth head dress or whatever, and they were catching on fire. So their heads were burning.
Not a good look.
No. I mean, it would have been, now I don't know what it would have done to us. I don't know if we would have remained a superpower after done, because it would have taken a lot of our people and, materials and so forth. Whereas, although the Soviets got pretty messed up by Germany too,
Would the secret have gotten out of the bag in terms of
the bomb?
The atomic secret?
I don't know, because
there was communist sympathizers in the Manhattan Project, which is ultimately how it got out. And they did do proof of concept. I don't know if it was Bikini Atoll where they did the tests prior to.
Yeah, I was one of them. Yeah, that's why. Do you know that's why it's called a bikini? Because it was called a place called Bikini Atoll where they did, nuclear testing. And
why is it called Bikini?
Listen, I'm in the middle of a sentence.
Let's cut to the chase.
Because the bikini was supposed to be so overwhelming, or such a big cultural statement, it was like a bomb.
A bikini?
Yes,
like the invention of bikinis.
Yes. You have to remember.
Did people wear bikinis back then?
Well, after they were invented, no, not in the 40s they didn't. There was a Bikini Atoll where they dropped nukes, and then the bikini came out probably in the late 60s. But they wanted to use a name that was like, this was like a revolutionary type of dress, because it really was. The bikini,
like a gown.
Oh my God.
An apron of sorts.
Yeah.
Like an apron for
I'm glad I explained it to you, because you didn't even listen. You don't know what I'm talking about.
No, bikinis were awesome.
Well, they still are. They haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah. Well, I would have thought the land would have been named prior to us dropping the bomb there. So we just got renaming rights because we dropped the bomb there?
No, that's what it's called. It was called that. It had a name, and we bombed it. Huh?
Prior to the bomb.
Yes.
Okay, why did we choose? Well, okay. We're just going to get into a circular argument. This is not going to do
No, you're just not listening.
I listen all the time.
Okay, there's a place called Maui, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we tested nukes there. And they said, well, think of something that was just mind-blowing. Okay, let's call this bathing suit the Maui. That's the concept. Do you understand?
Oh, bikinis came after the
Yes,
bomb.
yes, I said that.
You could call them Maui Wowies.
Yeah, okay.
That's
pot.
What, like cooking?
Yeah.
Cool.
Like a stir-fry pot.
Oh, like a wok.
Yeah.
Shitty wok.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was on a very good monologue.
No, you weren't.
You cut me off. World War II, bad guys, fascists. Communists is authoritarianism too.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
And I get it. Look, capitalism can birth technocrats. What else? Autocrat. What's that? What's an autocrat?
Autocrat. Auto means one or self.
It can lead to people having a lot of power.
It can lead to corporatism too.
Right. It can lead to some form of authoritarianism or large control, but it is much more difficult, and there is meritocracy to at least getting the power. You know, it's you either have to be a fucking stout, but you have to be good to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, communism, to politically maneuver your way up to the very top, you probably have to be good too. Sure, but that's your skill, is just a fucking political animal.
But that's communism is a lot of people work for almost everybody works for the government, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a large proletariat class. Those are the workers. Supposedly communism is for their benefit. And it isn't, because they're never can like move upwards.
You can't move upwards.
You barely get by.
Theoretically, you can't go deep too down. Maybe.
Well, you know what? But you have to work. All right. They say, you'll have health care. You didn't want to have a bad day in the Soviet Union, okay?
Or you had a toothache.
Well, then you better not let it affect your work.
No, like you don't want to work. You have a toothache.
Dude.
It's 2:30. Check the time.
All right, you've heard of all the gulags, right?
Archipelago.
So you work...
Gulag Archipelago.
You're close to pronouncing that right.
Archipelago.
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 Anyhow, shut up. No, you didn't.
How did I say it?
You work in Minsk or Moscow or wherever, or you work in a gulag.
Siberia?
Well, a lot of them were. They didn't put them in like beach front
why'd
places.
they put them up so far north though? What are you going to do there? Just shovel snow the whole time?
Mostly they were just punishment camps. Where they weren't slave labor. Well, they did, because I remember seeing one.
Labor.
Well, it was. They made gloves in the one I was watching about a gulag.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Nice craftsmanship?
Well, no,
Not
it
bad.
wasn't. They were functional, but...
That's not a good sales pitch.
Yeah.
Capitalism, though.
True.
You get sleek design. What did we create? Televisions, I think.
The assembly.
iPhones.
We didn't... the assembly line, basically.
Automobile.
Well, I'm not sure. I was going to say
that Henry Ford.
That's the assembly line.
I know he did the assembly line, but...
He didn't invent the automobile. It'd been around.
Huh.
It's just, it wasn't...
Bummer.
It was for this super rich.
Trains?
Because it was expensive.
We invent trains?
Maybe, probably, I think. Come on.
We invented a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Innovation. I think, look, if you're a communist, just argue down below. Give your side.
Well, they're gonna argue theoretical communism.
Yeah.
Whereas,
where is that?
And they're gonna criticize empirical capitalism, that's what happens. We could see it. It's here in the United States and many countries, just capitalism. And then they're going to give, but communism, it doesn't. It doesn't work. Mm. Cuba's communism. So is North Korea. All right? You don't want to live in North Korea.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrid. They're starving. Okay? And it's a cult of personality. Same families controlled that country since 1940 something. Almost 100 years. They have, the leaders are just the son of the prior leader. They don't have any fucking idea what they're doing.
That's almost like having a pharaoh,
or a king. It's a
dynasty,
king. Yeah,
which is not good.
Correct.
Because then it's just family lineage instead of. At least Putin. Love or hate the guy, I'm not a big fan, but he wasn't just born in the right family.
Right.
He had to do some shit in the KGB to fucking get to that spot. Right. I'm sure he did a lot.
I'm sure he did too.
Probably broke a lot of knuckles.
He's very conniving,
That's
intelligent in a very ruthless way.
Like Russian James Bond.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
On top of that, so communism, bad. Theoretically, great. Theoretically, it's the best. It's utopia.
Yeah.
Zootopia too, some would even say.
Yeah.
So we decide we're going to Korea. We're
going to get to Vietnam.
We basically free South Korea. North Korea is what it is.
Right.
And then Vietnam is the next big thing. Now, what actually... Well, I know the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Bay of Pigs, maybe had some influence.
No.
Well, that heightened the Cold War, did it not? That was in between Korea and Vietnam.
Yeah.
What made us get froggy and actually take the leap
we took over
Vietnam?
for France. All right. And a lot of it, it was the growth of communism. We were trying to stop it. And that was the only where it became a hot war. But we were doing things, and they were doing things to influence countries all over the world to either go communist or, well, we were trying to stop them. I mean, all over the world. So, and at that point, in Vietnam, it's like, well, okay, we have to
How was the Battle of Algiers? That doesn't figure into this at all. It's just timeline-wise, it is like in the 50s, right? 50s, 60s?
Yeah, because, France used to have a really large... Don't talk when I'm talking. You're doing
Algiers?
That. Algiers is in Africa.
Oh, so they were ethnically black.
Yeah, but they're like Moroccans. You know what I mean?
I'm rocking.
Yeah. What was I going to say? So France was a colonialist power.
Prior to World War II.
Yes.
And they still had some of those colonies despite getting a lot of their resources evaporated.
Correct.
In World War II. And it made it
Algiers
hard to hold.
Algiers is in Algeria. So that was a French colony.
Right.
In the Battle of Algiers, I believe, I don't know if that was the end of their,
I just figured they were Muslim, I think because of the style of how they fought. And that may be a little racist. But Africa's close to the Middle East. I mean, it was a lot of...
Well, Northern Africa is the Middle East. Egypt.
Okay. Yeah. So Algeria's... Okay, cool. So... and not to get racialist or anything like that, but they fought. You're either a freedom fighter if you're on your side, or a terrorist if you're on the other side. And they fought kind of dirty.
Well, in their case,
but it was their land.
They were fighting. Yeah, they were fighting for independence. Muslim or not, it doesn't matter. I mean, in that case, it doesn't really matter. They're fighting. They were, they had been ruled by France, which was
en français.
Yeah. Like 1,000 miles away.
Are American revolutionists terrorists?
To King George, they were.
And
they were brigands.
Where is he now?
Dead. So,
Need
guess who won that one?
Need I say more?
Right.
Let's get to Vietnam.
There we go. That didn't take long
Vietnam,
at all.
Culturally huge. The music, the movies, the protests.
Yeah.
It was an anti-establishment time period.
Yep.
The babies of World War II, I think they wanted something to fight, and they raged against the machine, copyright pending. That machine...
I'm a baby boomer.
Became with... Well, I mean, when you were in high school
I didn't rage
and college,
against any machine.
Some people did.
Well, no. I'm the oldest
Kent State
baby boomer. Okay.
Kent State.
No, the youngest. Okay. So people older than me weren't raging against the machine.
People. So what generation am I talking about? The sons of the generation who watched World War II. Maybe that's why they were fucking acting the way you're acting.
You got to tell me what time period you're talking about.
The people who were protesting Vietnam.
And then some of them were baby boomers. Yeah.
Okay, so why are you attacking me?
I don't know. You were talking about Rage Against the Machine. I thought you were talking about the 90s.
Not the band.
Okay.
They were raging against the establishment, which was the U.S. government. Which
I know what you mean now.
War hawks.
Right.
JFK didn't want anything to do with it. Boom.
Yeah, but he got us in it. He got us in
Bay
it.
Of Pigs.
He sent...
Monumental mistake.
Yeah, what does that have to do with Vietnam?
Well, why did we go to Vietnam?
Well, to stop communism there.
What made us actually decide that was a war worth fighting? Because wasn't communism being spread to a bunch of different
Yes,
places?
but at any point it could break, and it did break into a war in Vietnam. We took over for the French. Okay?
What was the tipping point? Because now you're blaming JFK. What? Why?
He sent advisors. He started it.
Why?
We had nobody over there until JFK, and I'm not blaming him because I think once he got in, he wanted to get right back out, and then he was assassinated. But he's the one who sent advisors over there, and that's how it starts. And the advisors were for the South Vietnamese to try to fight against the North Vietnamese.
So there was the domino theory. I guess it just, they thought we were at a tipping point. We had advisors. The South Vietnamese government said they were losing control. And it was like, okay, we got to give them help. And if they fall, South Asia will fall.
Yeah.
Southeast Asia.
And
I guess it was the meeting with the South Vietnamese leader that spurred it.
Okay.
I was wondering, now you're saying JFK wanted out, and I believe that, and then he was assassinated, LBJ comes into power, and then we're ramping up.
Yeah.
Now here's the deal. You need public support for an ideological war. World War II was an ideological war, but we kind of had support, and you don't really realize it's an ideological war until after we win. And then our ideals become influential. Now, we got other pussy countries that are like American light, like Canada.
Yeah.
Mexico's its own fucking beast.
Yeah.
And then, Europe is kind of, they try to be their own thing, but they have their own scars. They have a very long history, and they're soon going to lose all that culture anyway. So, enjoy it while you can remember it. Wave your flag while you still can. But, okay, we send troops over there. I don't know how popular the original sending of troops was.
To where?
Vietnam.
I mean, it wasn't that many to the point where anybody, I think,
was drafted.
Well, was drafted, or that the public was like against it. I mean, it just wasn't. We had people other places. We had advisors at many places around the world. It's just that Vietnam turned into a war.
So LBJ comes in, and it's under his administration that the draft commences, correct?
Yeah, correct.
That is a huge influence towards why it's so unpopular.
Yes. Yep.
Because there's people who are protesting because that could be me.
Yeah.
It's also one of the few wars that you can basically watch live.
Well, yes, and that was the first time war had been televised.
Coming straight through the TV in living color, as they say.
Yeah, like almost every night there was something about Vietnam on.
Yeah, American dies.
Yeah.
American lives. That's not funny. That's not funny at all.
Yeah, people dying are real funny. No, go ahead. I'm kidding, but
the draft, the television, and then Kent State. And that's when Tricky Dick Nixon is in.
I think Nixon was there. Yeah.
That's never gonna go over well. Now, why did they do that? Is it just a miscommunication by the National Guard?
I don't really know. I mean, they wanted to stop the protest. They really shouldn't have been armed, or maybe in those days it's like, yeah, of course we're armed.
I mean, we have protests going on now that are fucking insane.
Yeah.
And you're not hearing about people who aren't trying to like.
You have to think about that. It's a different age, a completely different age. Had there not been 4 people shot, no, you would have heard. I mean, it was we call it the National Guard now. Mm-hmm. There better be a serious issue going on. You just don't do that there. Well, I mean, I don't know how bad the protest even was at Kent State, but they called in the National Guard with apparently live ammunition. So you did that. If you do that today and they started shooting, they call that like the worst kind of government oppression ever.
I mean, look at what has happened in Minnesota. And both the people were within striking distance with some form of deadly force.
Yeah.
And people were still having vigil. And like, look, do not criticize. I don't want anyone to die.
I don't either.
But I would never put myself in that situation. And I think you're probably not in a good mental space if you think that you can do that and that the other person should just be not
cops can't just let you
kill them.
Or
no, that's not any job. Just so everyone knows. Just because you sign up to do a job that you don't like doesn't mean that they should die.
Right.
Sorry to steal your thunder, but I mean...
No, I mean, that's what I was saying. I mean, just, okay, they're saying ICE. Okay, but, there's state cops, there's local cops. You can't do that with a local cop.
Exactly.
You can't obstruct. You can't drive your car at them. If you do, I'm sorry, you deserve, that's deadly force against a police officer. Mm-hmm. They are allowed and entitled to return in kind. All right. Now, the other guy, I don't know completely, but he had a weapon on him, man. He quit his job 2 weeks earlier. What do you think? He's stable? I mean, look, you're fighting the wrong cause. This whole thing is Biden allowing 20 million people, undocumented people here. We don't know who they are.
And then a lot of states are like...
And we're trying to get rid of them, and you have to. Some of them, anyway.
Want undocumented people to be able to vote. Like, I think they've basically said that explicitly in court.
Yeah, think about that. I don't want them. You know what? They more than cancel out my legitimate vote. Them. They have no standing. And as far as due process, I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs, but I'm not saying they don't necessarily have them, but I don't know if they do.
Well, you need to pump the brakes on that, because think about how that can be utilized against you. Now, you're looking at Mexican people, you might feel camaraderie with them, maybe you have Mexican heritage. That's all fine and good. But now the game, if you want to set rules like that, that undocumented people can come in here,
yes,
basically just walk free into the state and then vote. Then the fucking game doesn't become, hey, how can I convince people who have standing here to vote for me? Why wouldn't you just fucking try to ship over as many people as possible and say, I will bring you here if you vote this way?
Right. Hey, and listen, I mean, we call it, Mexicans a lot because they're connected to us, and there is a lot of migration from Mexico. But during those 4 years of Biden, there were over 100 countries that sent undocumented immigrants into this country. Okay,
it was an open door policy.
It was an open door policy. He didn't really have one. He just was saying the border was secure. That's his policy, just to say that. Mm-hmm. And look, people hate Trump and love Biden. I'm sorry, that is like a generational problem he caused, being that incompetent, or just his policies. I don't think he even had one. I think he just said, whatever Trump did, reverse. Mm-hmm. So he constricted the border. Biden said, take away all the restrictions.
Now, I want to be just completely transparent. And I'm going to be semi-critical of Vietnam. Don't call me an anti-patriot.
No, I'm not.
I'm patriotic.
I mean, I tell you, he was probably more anti-Vietnam as people fought there.
Yes.
Because they did not enjoy it.
My worry about Iran, as it's going on, week 3, week 4, mm-hmm. is that we will get sucked into a quagmire.
It's possible. And they use that all the time. They always said, we'll get into another Vietnam, because that's exactly. But listen, and I agree, I understand, and I agree. Vietnam, you think about Iran standing in the world versus Vietnam. Nobody knew where Vietnam was. They weren't threatening nukes on their neighbors, okay? Mm-hmm. Iran supports they're the leading state sponsor of terrorism in the world. They try to cut off a vital waterway. I mean, their government is extremely oppressive.
Now, it is a bit of a chicken and an egg situation, isn't it?
You're gonna
look at American influence in the Middle East and how many Muslims we've killed, and how that can very much, like, they have not a biblical text but a religious text that is a little bit more aggressive than some other religious texts. No shade, but we painted ourselves as the infidels by going in there, bro, from like the late 80s.
Okay, you want to know the first time we went in there really was the first Gulf War. It was in Kuwait.
Is that 91?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so not late 80s, but early 90s.
So we went in there to liberate Kuwait because Iraq went into Kuwait, and basically what they were saying is they wanted money from Kuwait because Kuwait's a rich country, oil exporter. Right. And I don't know for what exact reason, but they just went in and they didn't treat them very well. So we liberated them. That's what motivated Osama bin Laden, was the fact that we were even in Middle East.
All right, well,
the infidel was in the Middle East.
He's a CIA agent, or has been influenced by American agencies. I mean,
he was fighting against the Soviet Union in Afghanistan,
and we funded them.
Yeah, no shit.
And then we fell for the old trap that we set in Afghanistan. That probably had a much bigger influence on why Osama bin Laden decided to do what he planned, allegedly, in the early 2000s.
No, we weren't in Iraq. We weren't in Afghanistan prior to that. Osama bin Laden literally attacked the Trade Center because we're the infidel, okay? And we were I don't know what.
Okay, well then we propped up the fucking terrorist organization that went on to attack us.
Yeah, we did. That happens all the time. And you know what? At that time that we did it, we didn't know we'd be fighting them later. But we were fighting the Soviet Union then, okay? In Afghanistan. We were helping the Afghanis fight the Soviet Union because the Soviet Union had invaded Afghanistan. We didn't know like 10, 15 years later, we're going to come back to Afghanistan and attack them.
But we had set them up almost as a puppet state for them to want to attack. That's what I'm saying. We tried to sucker them into Afghanistan.
Who?
Russia.
Probably.
Okay. Well.
Hey man, if you think diplomacy's,
you start throwing shit around, don't get upset when shit gets on you.
Well, I mean, there's not even close to a perfect world. I mean, we wanted to defeat communism. We really did. Hard. If we sucked them in, we did our job.
I agree. They were playing aggressively. I don't know how you'd actually do it. You can always espouse this verbiage of like, let's just talk and try to convince these countries this is what's best for them. They're not playing that type of game. I mean, they're literally funding them.
Who?
And it's, Russia to try to get countries to turn communist.
So
they're funding communist regimes to come to power. I mean, and that's why Korea, Vietnam, and then what the fuck, name any other country you want. All their satellite nations.
Right.
The whole Eastern Bloc. I mean, that was just like an iron curtain. I mean, I don't know how the fuck they influenced them. I don't think they were even funding
I don't know if it was so much. It was more military threat.
Yeah.
Than influence. I don't
think
any of them wanted to be part of it.
But it's like maybe you just be cool with having your, we could have North America, Central, South America on lockdown. You guys want to fucking play big dick over there? Go ahead.
But they didn't, man. They were all over South America. Read about communist regimes
and pressure in South America instead of Vietnam. And
they say isolationism may be the absolute worst foreign policy, and that's what you're talking about. Just ignore it. Because they didn't want to ignore us. They wanted to bury us. They had a Soviet premier say that on a live mic in front of people. Right? At the UN, I
Rocky
think it was.
Balboa, Ivan Drago,
Yeah, they
esque boxing match.
you have to remember, that was late Cold War.
We have some good boxers.
1950s, 1960s was real Cold War.
No,
Towards the
I'm
end, it
saying
was different.
that time period. Set the match up. Maybe a chess match.
Okay. I'm going to pee
You gonna
while
talk
you...
about ping pong diplomacy next?
Well, I have the advantage of having lived through it. You don't...
I was there. I've watched videos.
Okay.
It takes you back to the time period in which it happened. And what I want to say is it was an unpopular war. Dadman's taking the difficult position, the one he believes in, though, and that's ultimately always going to be a winning battle. And I'm trying to be open-minded. You know, I am anti-communist to an extent. I think ideologically it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. And you look at Mao Zedong, you look at Joseph Stalin, the killing fields, all of the Holodomor.
You
And
just
how
said random words while I was
how
away,
bad
huh?
communism can be, right? I get that. Vietnam just was it is a mar on American history.
Yeah, it's considered that. My big thing is the people that did it. I mean, the soldiers, the people that they feel some sense of, that they lost that war. And my thing is, it wasn't really a loss. It showed that we, if needed, we would go to war on the other side of the world to try and stop communism. And that mattered. I really think it did. And I don't think a lot of people look at it that way. Did we lose? Ultimately, we did. But we bled a lot of resources. Okay? We stalled. I'm telling you, they were taking over countries. They say the domino effect wasn't a real thing. It kind of was. I mean, they were very aggressive in trying to turn countries.
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong? No, not Hong Kong, you idiot.
I think about Hong Kong, though.
What's that got to do with anything?
Or Taipei.
Thailand?
Yeah.
Taipei's the capital.
Well, Hong Kong, they allowed capitalism for a while. Or am I thinking of somewhere else?
No, and it didn't change until, I don't know, I think it was the 90s, where it was a protectorate of United Kingdom, and he turned it over.
It's pretty cool. Hong Kong movies are pretty badass.
It was considered the freest capitalist economy in the world.
Would have loved to have seen it.
I mean, it was crazy, it's very capitalist. Like, no zoning laws or anything,
Cocaine.
But they were successful, very successful for a very small country.
All right, let's get into. There's so much to be said about the actual history.
We may actually talk about Vietnam later.
We did. We talked a ton about it.
Okay,
I mean, what is there?
movie.
I don't know much about. Well, Dad, man, the movies aren't the war. We're talking about the movies now.
I think I'll put it this way. I think we achieved our objectives, and almost nobody would agree with that. But we did.
You made stellar points. You are super knowledgeable.
No, I'm not. I don't think people look at it right.
Great at dialect. You're very great head on your shoulders. One of the smartest people I've met.
I'll cut it out.
I agree. It showed that we were willing to fight, but it showed that I think we had an image coming out of World War II that we could do anything.
Yeah.
And this showed that we couldn't do anything.
Well, we already had Korea, though, too. We didn't win Korea.
Yeah, this one just felt bigger.
Yeah, it did.
Korea and
the
mom's
thing with Korea,
dad, my grandpa, fought in it. But it is a bit of a forgotten war. He didn't. Oh, fuck. I thought he fought in Korea.
Well, she told you that.
Oh. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
She just said it once. I knew him. He wasn't in Korea. I don't even think he left stateside.
Oh shit. Okay.
He did fly in airplanes, but he didn't fly them. He was in airplanes that flew. But
Okay. So that's a bombshell. Just dropped live.
well,
We're streaming.
oh, you're recording.
There's little cameras in here now.
Ooh.
Okay, so two major characters that I think I want to talk about because they do give, I think, a really cool perspective of like the criticisms of Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I don't think it's Lieutenant Pyle. Is it Private Pyle?
Yeah.
Okay.
You talking about the guy who went crazy?
Yes.
Okay.
Talks about the draft. Talks about the kinds of you're getting. World War II, you were turning people away who were volunteering.
Yeah.
Vietnam, you're
they
hurting.
still had standards, like if you had flat feet, even in Vietnam, I don't know if they'd take you or not. But they wanted people. Yeah, for sure.
So you were going to get people who were probably at the IQ cutoff. Maybe a little lower. Maybe they fudge a number or two. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh no,
We round up.
Yeah.
Way up.
The killing machine, we're trying to turn people who, and this is the first time I think in history, we're taking people who wanted to fight before turning them into fighting machines. And then we're taking people who were scared to death, who weren't, it's like it wasn't the call to action. It was the you got to show the fuck up show.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And we got to turn them into killing machines. And this directly ties into the Apocalypse Now theme that we're going to get with Marlon Brando. But you turn someone into a killing machine, you don't always get to decide when that turns on and when it turns off.
Right. You can be too successful, or they're a killing machine that you don't have control of.
And like, I don't, you can look at that so many different ways. I just think that was absolute brilliant storytelling. And quite frankly, in the time period that half of the movie was, I don't know if there's ever been a better story told in all of cinema. That first half of the movie is just...
Yeah, I kind of agree. Because there isn't a lot of movies because, for those guys, boot camp was like the first, oh, this is real.
Mm-hmm.
And it is an unfriendly, hostile environment.
And then add on top of that, you don't want to be there.
Right.
You have to be there.
Yeah.
And how that can just become perverted and morph into something disastrous or dangerous.
Yeah.
It's like you create a virus in a lab and you give it gain of function, and then it breaks out of the lab. And then what happens then? It's a dangerous thing.
Well, it's more like it's like you create a biologic to fight diseases, but a percentage of it would cause more disease or death.
Right.
Because that's what you're taking, this big, large group of people and saying, all right, man, we need them combat ready. And we need them to be able to kill. And so some of them are going to go, already not quite balanced. They're going to become Private Pyle.
And what I think part of, and this is just it's so, it covers a rainbow. Okay. And that's a very bad analogy. I just thought of it. There's so many different lenses you can look through that and see something different. And just something that's coming to mind immediately is there was something about that time period, and I only had the looking through
the movie,
the hourglass of time. But there was something about that time period that just felt like people were just ready to. The violence was in the air. It was on the TV. Just people were just at a fever pitch for something.
Yeah.
And that's what that is him. Is that the 1% of this is going to pop off.
Right.
and you can't control. It's like you can't control the times.
Right.
This is where the train has taken us, and it's a dangerous time period.
Yeah.
And I like Apocalypse Now, so it takes it from like I don't know if it's just basically the same thing where it's like this guy that is just the times infected him, or if it's being in this war machine so long has literally drilled something into his head, and he's like, look, man, I know that I have so much. He's a fucking brilliant military strategist.
Yeah.
This Marlon Brando guy.
Kurtz.
He can see the writing on the wall. This shit, we're not going to be successful here. But I know if I have complete power, I can get this shit done.
Yeah.
And I'll be a fucking warlord.
Yeah.
And I'll storm the gates of hell with my fucking tribe with spears, and I can kill every single person.
In my opinion, I hate saying that word because it sounds pretentious, but that movie was about the horrors of war, the insanity of war, and about achieving that amount of power would drive a person insane.
And I think you can look at that. I think there's macro criticism going on there. And it might be about the state, and it might be about like minds of the time, war hawks that sometimes like look, fighting against something you find evil can turn you into an evil yourself.
Yeah, that is definitely true. And it's probably part of that movie as well.
And like I think Kurtz is to represent.
No, he's
transition.
He's going upriver, right? So it's
You're
he's
against
going
the grain.
Well, no, but he keeps going further into madness, is what
Sure.
the river represents. Until he gets to. Did you ever see Redux? Oh my God!
I've heard of it. I think.
What's Apocalypse Now Redux version?
Oh yeah, sure.
I don't know what that portion of the movie was. The only part of it I kind of got from it was that Martin Sheen, the character that he played, wasn't a bad person because he met a girl there.
Political commentary with that because it's French people.
Yeah,
and it's I guess.
Remember I said that we took over from French. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think because it was a French colony,
and they were just the people that they physically met.
Yeah,
were almost existing as though what was going on around them wasn't.
I know. Yeah, like they weren't.
That's the political commentary. You understand?
Well, I do. It's kind of like us back at home watching the war. I mean, they were
how France was reacting to it instead of them. I guess they couldn't, but it was like almost being able to see into the past, their influence there, but also how they were so unable to actually influence anything that was currently going on.
Oh. You could take a few things from it, I'm not sure. It was just so weird.
Political. I didn't know the politics behind it, but.
Well, I mean, the part was so long and meaningless to me. I mean, they were French people that came there, still French, but they lived in Vietnam now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like a plantation type of thing. And I think it was rubber. There was some kind of resource that they were
I know that's big
harvesting or something.
In South America. Amazon River.
Yeah, well, this was in Vietnam.
Yeah, but any kind of, that type of...
River Valley type thing?
Sure.
Probably.
They produced these trees that you can make rubber out of.
But it was something, and that's what they were doing. And that's, they had... Well, you didn't see it, but I mean, even though it was it had a really nice house.
Jungles. Sorry, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Jungle trees can produce rubber, I guess. I don't know why.
The climate.
Yeah.
It was the right climate.
I mean, I feel like we literally scratched the surface. This is something could talk about a lot more deep. I definitely shouldn't have gone starting at World War II, but to me that's super relevant. It literally prefaces the battle between communism and capitalism.
Yeah.
And I think it is.
Yeah, it does.
It's to me it's really interesting that World War II has probably just as many good war movies as Vietnam.
That is true. Now, one thing that helps that is timing. No, timing. The closer you are to that, maybe the more.
But there's not a lot of good Middle East war movies.
Well, I got to tell you something else. There's a lot of World War II movies you're not even aware of.
I'm talking great.
Okay, well,
something that just changes.
There were movies that came out about Vietnam right afterwards. One was called Coming Home, which I actually had written down. You never heard of.
Sure, I'm sure there's probably more World War II movies than Vietnam, but
that break through the.
Yeah, I mean, Apocalypse Now and Full Metal Jacket just feel like they changed things.
Yeah, yeah.
Those movies are just, they blasted through the stratosphere. It was the creation of true art, and it felt, I don't know.
Well, one was Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah. And the World War II movies that you see, like, a lot, like the Japanese conflict doesn't resonate as much as I think the European theater. I don't know why that is. I mean, there are some good movies about.
There's Midway.
Which I need to see.
Midway was pretty good.
Yeah.
They cracked their code, which was very important. Because Midway was really, really important battle. Coral Sea was a big one. Midway was huge.
There should be more.
Well, the Sands of Iwo Jima, or Flags of Our Father, like those, there's a few. But there wasn't as many battles in the Pacific. Because of the nukes.
Yeah. I mean, Oppenheimer's good.
Yeah.
Academy Award winning. Mm-hmm. Oppenheimer. But that again, the main event does become, communism versus capitalism.
Well, that was born out of war.
It's very hard to untangle World War II from Vietnam if you are smart like me. If you're a pussy bitch,
you may not see the connection.
You might look at it differently, but
it was born. No, the two sides was born out of the Second World War, because that's when, like England, even though they weren't as influential at that time, they were financially destroyed, or they were destroyed as a world power. Yeah. France obviously was. Germany, bye-bye. So it left us in the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
So to the victors go the
spoils, and we of enrichment
of war
from war. I mean, I think we nailed it, though. We scratched the surface, but we nailed it.
Whatever we weren't trying to do, we were real close to doing.
I mean, I want to hear everyone's thoughts down below. I swear to God, if we don't get any comments on this,
we'll come find you.
The next episode.
Then it's going to be unfun for you.
Next episode's going to be real hard.
We're going to read children's books out loud.
Yeah. And I'm going to make the thumbnail really cool. You're going to want to watch it, but you're not going to like it.
No.
But we appreciate your fandom. We appreciate your support.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts. I thought you did an amazing job of taking kind of the uphill battle and arguing it very well. So I give you
like on Vietnam. I just have the utmost respect for the people.
Me too,
over there.
Dude. I hope
when you come home and people spit on you after you were overseas in a terrifying environment.
I hope no one gets the wrong idea. Like,
no.
Anytime I don't support a war, I don't fucking blame the soldiers.
Yeah.
Okay, you blame the leaders who.
I don't
commit to such.
I mean, what we did was harsh. Well, beyond that, but I do think it made an enormous difference in today's world. Huge. Communism, I mean, we look at it now like it never existed. It was a huge existential threat to the world. It was. It was authoritarianism on a worldwide basis.
I mean, I think communism is bad.
Yeah, I know you said that, and that's
really bad. And I'm going to get some flack for that, and that's okay.
I'm not ashamed to say it. They're going to redo Animal Farm. I think I mentioned this. I think it's going to be in animated form, but the bad guy, I don't know, or the
antagonist
is going to be a capitalist, or a representative of capitalism, not communism. All right, capitalism. That's taking George. I mean, that's like rewriting the Bible.
Do your own thing.
Yeah, do your own thing. You want to make some kind of case. I mean, so they're taking things that was anti-Stalin, was that book. That's exactly what it was for.
Yeah, the author, George Orwell, heard about the Holodomor, and he couldn't. He was like very skeptical of the dude reporting the Holodomor, like until he, saw the evidence.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Holy!" And that's what. And I don't think he was very. I don't know. I want to say I don't think he was very like pro-capitalism.
Probably not.
But it changed after he heard what was going on, because that is that's a tragedy. I don't know how you look at it any way else. The Great Leap Forward, equally so. The body fucking tolls of Stalin and Mao and the like, but those two exclusively, they fucking make Hitler look like a little baby dick. So, like, what the fuck are we talking about, guys?
No, you never hear...
You Antifa baby back bitches.
Yeah.
Like, they're fucking starving their own people, so fuck off. Yeah. First and foremost, you want to put a fucking ski mask on and act like you're a superhero.
Yeah.
Like, look in the mirror.
That's
bro.
cosplaying.
They're
tough in groups.
Right.
When they outnumber
you
10 to 1.
Communism is so fucking great. Like,
go to North Korea.
Just wait until you're the person who has to fucking work the fields, big dog.
Yeah.
You're not going to get to wear your stupid little fucking face mask.
No, you're not. Yeah.
That's just my... I don't think
they
understand...
manual labor 16 hours a day.
To them, like, Antifa, all of them think that they are anti-authoritism, but they support authoritarianism.
They're the brown shirts.
In communism.
If you know a lot, and you know who the brown shirts were, they were the thugs in fascist Germany before Hitler really became in power. So they would just go around, they were drunken idiots, and just beat people, their enemies up for the Nazi party.
Yeah.
And then he purged them. So, if that's going to happen to you, fascists or anti-fat, Antifa, whomever.
Antifa. And Quifa. All right, guys. Hopefully you got something out of this. I tried to be a little silly sometimes. Dad didn't pick up on it. He told me to be funny.
I don't remember when you did it, though.
Well, it was a spirited debate. Spirited conversation.
Maybe I didn't pick up on that.
Oh, that's okay. All right, guys.
It's your fault, though.
Peace out.
Bye.